I hope 2020 has got off to a great start for you. Today I am going to talk about 20 things, beauty trends that I want to go away not only in 2020 but also for the decade ahead. And no, it is not the regular heavy contouring and Instagram makeup that I'm going to talk about. Quite a few other things in here. Firstly, the mad palette wave. I'd love to see the end of that. Until very recently, makeup collections included a quad or two, some single eyeshadows, maybe, lip products, and a couple of face products. Now, every makeup collection has a palette, a full eyeshadow palette, with at least 10 or 12 eyeshadows, in some cases 32 or more. And who cares about the rest of it? Like, these days, makeup is equal to eyeshadow palettes. That's no longer fun. For me, number one, makeup is about lipstick. I mean, I do realize that this differs from person to person. But the other thing is, how many palettes can you possibly own and use up in your lifetime? How many lipsticks can you own and store? More, definitely. So that trend. And the other thing is, certain brands are launching palettes every week or every month at least. And that's got to go as well. I'd like to see fewer collections, collections that are holiday, spring, summer, and autumn, winter. Just the 3 collections or 4 collections a year rather than a palette every 2 weeks. The other thing is I would also like to see the end of neutralish, particularly warm neutral, ruddy hue neutrals, palettes with 1 or 2 pops of blue to go away with it. That's been the trend, I think, towards the end of this decade, particularly 2019. It's been neutral, particularly warm neutral palettes, and then 1 or 2 pops of blue, or maybe 1 or 2 cherry hues. There are other colors out there, mix and match them for the love of Pete. So the third thing is tied to these two. As I said, there are way too many collections, way too many launches. Tone it down a bit and you might just see profits go up, because last year Benefit Cosmetics was the only US-based prestige brand to make a profit in the first half of 2019, and with good reason. They didn't go about launching a palette every week. Obviously they made a profit. They concentrated on eyebrow products. I mean, who else launched that many eyebrow products? Nobody. Everybody was busy launching eyeshadow palettes. Obviously Benefit made a profit. I would also like to see the highlighter overkill go away. The thing is, highlighters are great if you have flawless, young and gorgeous skin, where the highlighter brings out a bit of that inner glow. If you have any kind of texture, as I do, pitted acne scars here, mind you, if you have that kind of texture, the highlighter acts as a beacon. Don't tell me that's not where you apply highlighter. I've got pitted acne scars here. That is where you apply highlighter, right? So I also have a pit here. So if you have that kind of texture, highlighters act as a beacon. I used to apply highlighters myself. I no longer do. It's just either bronzer or blush for me and nothing else. No more highlighter. I'm over that trend. So particularly for those of us with textured skin, I'd like to see the end of that mad highlighter trend. Number 5, I would like to see the end of influencer and brand drama. Not just influencer drama, not just that lot washing their dirty laundry in public, airing their grievances. Oh, he did that to me. Oh, she did this to me. She said this to that person. He signed this with me and promoted that person instead. That sort of thing. Stop doing it. Keep your life a bit more private. Nobody wants to know. I mean, there are drama channels that thrive on it, obviously, but for the most part, it's disgusting. Brand drama. What Drunk Elephant pulled on Instagram some months ago, it's an example. They're not the only brand to do what Z Palette pulled a couple of years ago. Several brands have done this on social media. First of all, you need to put somebody responsible there on social media who won't just shoot their mouths off, who isn't an impulsive person, who's a bit mature and a bit, level-headed. Secondly, I think even if you have a grievance against a particular person or feel very threatened by them or feel personally attacked by somebody on social media, I think brands in particular need to be very careful about how they reply to that person. Yes, there are perceived grievances or maybe even real ones, but either A, scroll past, or B, ignore, or C, block. When you block, there will be some drama with that person going on Twitter saying X brand blocked me, why? But it's a lot better than you're replying and creating more drama, yeah? So that's the fifth thing I want to go away. Number 6, plastic packaging overkill. There's been quite a bit of it. Huda Beauty is guilty of this. The Model Co. Karl Lagerfeld collection, so much plastic. Lots of brands are guilty of this plastic packaging overkill. Haven't they heard of climate change and that sort of thing? This trend needs to go, and brands need to take up responsibility for this and do something. Maybe create more cardboard-based packaging instead. The next one is a bit tricky. I'm not saying do away with fast makeup altogether. I mean, first of all, it's affordable. Secondly, there are some very good products from those brands. And not all of us just buy, keep for a bit and declutter and throw away. I certainly don't do that. So there should be, what I'm going to say is that there should be a better balance between fast makeup and affordability. I'm not saying reduce margins to big brands, nor to designer brands, nor am I saying, no to have fast makeup brands. All I'm saying is have a better balance. There should be a happy medium somewhere. Don't ask me how. I haven't thought this out. I'm just thinking of some things that I'd like to see gone in 2020 and the decade ahead. And fast makeup specifically isn't something that I'd like to see gone, but I'd like to see more balance, right? Right, number 8. Poor labeling of allergens needs to go. Hydrolyzed protein or just protein you see in some places. You don't know if that's wheat protein or soy protein or corn protein or what. What if somebody is allergic to a specific kind of protein? And despite a lot of claims that hydrolyzed protein means that the protein has been reduced to its component amino acids, that's not always the case. Because, without knowing, without looking at the ingredients list, I ended up using the cooking acne serum a lot. And I was wondering why I was getting chronic urticaria every blasted day. Urticaria, needing antihistamines, itching and hives. It took me a while, and it was actually my derm who said, bring everything you use. And then she said, stop using this. So I stopped using that, and the urticaria stopped. So hydrolyzed wheat protein isn't necessarily, I don't know, they say it's hydrolyzed. Or maybe, there's one tiny little component that's escaped in there, and is making you allergic if you're allergic to that substance. So a lot of people also say that, there's very little quantity in that to make you allergic. That again depends, A, from person to person, B, from product to product, and C, to how sensitive you are at a given time. And the more exposure you have, the more sensitive you are. And this is some people have said, you need to sensitize yourself by being exposed to it. Allergies don't work that way, I'm afraid. I have inherited or hereditary angioedema, it's called. That is what my gastroenterologist told me recently. You have hereditary angioedema. Maternal grandmother and grandfather, both allergic people. Maternal fainted really when given a test dose shot of penicillin. Not now, when she was in her 30s or something. I wasn't even born then. Her nieces and her sisters have the same allergy. Gramps has urticaria and is an allergic person. My mom, very allergic person. So am I. And this sort of thing doesn't go away. The more you're exposed actually, the more sensitive your body becomes. Not desensitized, mind you, more sensitive. So you need very little of that for a reaction. That's what I've noticed. That's what my doctors have told me. However, random people know best, don't they? When they give you unsolicited advice. So I'd like to see better allergen labeling. I'd like to see, you don't really bother to read every ingredient list very carefully. You may give it a glimpse. And now I do read it very carefully, but not everybody may do that. So if you have this allergens, soy, nuts, A, B, C, D, list of allergens, that will help. Number 9 is something that I feel very strongly about, and a friend of mine from Poland agrees with me, and she actually gave me an idea to do this. I would like to see the end of certain brands being repeated across beauty boxes, across GW gifts with patches, across advent calendars, across one-off curations and so on. You know what these brands and certain products are. The Eve Lom cleanser, The Omarovica Queen of Hungary mist. I love that mist, don't get me wrong, it's a lovely mist, but you know, it's overkill, really. They've sent out enough of it to irrigate a small nation, I think. And then there's the NARS Orgasm Mini Blush. So certain products keep being repeated. I would also like to see the end of including minis alone in beauty boxes or advent calendars or GW. You pay for these things. You add a couple of full-size products, for the love of Pete. Why should everything be mini when you're paying for it? GWPs, maybe, gifts for purchase, have minis alone, fine. But advent calendars and beauty boxes, no one wants to pay for minis alone. You can get those free. Number 11, I want to see, wait, I won't see the end of it, but I want to see at least less plagiarism, rip-offs, copies, not dupes, you know, not particular eyeshadow shade that 4 different brands have very similar ones. But you know, I mean, packaging, style, product, concept, the entire thing, you know, labeling, design, so everything being ripped off blatantly, plagiarism. I'd like to see the end of that. You know what I'm talking about there. Number 12, I want to see the end. This will never happen, but you know, hey, this is my channel. I can wish what I like. I can wish for a 100 million pounds. No, not happening either. So I would like to see the end of counterfeit makeup. It's got to go. It's very harmful. It's dangerous and it's bloody everywhere, and it needs to go. Particularly because, you know, these are not. This palette is very similar to that one. You can buy this instead of that. It's not that. They're trying to pass off the counterfeit products as the original. That's not how it works. That's blatant copyright violation. Number 13, I would like to see the end of lack of inclusivity. This catering to certain skin tones alone, this leaving out certain skin tones, certain skin types, certain people, certain nationalities, even certain genders, has got to go. Makeup, beauty, skincare is a universal thing which should have universal access. In particular, I would like to mention Korean brands here. They need to develop more shades for different skin tones if they are planning to sell BB and CC creams and cushions to an international audience. If you're selling within Korea alone, I agree, just have shade 21 and shade 22, the paler and palest. Just have those two. By all means, in your country, that's mostly what, you know, sells. However, if you're selling internationally, if you've got global websites, if you're selling on international retailers, if you've got, you know, different global Instagram accounts that cater in Innisfree USA, or I mean, Innisfree actually has deeper skin, deeper shades. So I'm not blaming Innisfree. I'm just, it came to my head because, you know, I was tagging Innisfree Global in something recently. If you have global Instagram accounts, if you're selling to an international audience, if you're promoting internationally, you need to cater to different people, mate. You need to have deeper shades. So in particular, I want to see more inclusivity. I want to see the end of the lack of inclusivity altogether. Number 14, this one is very close to my heart. I want to see an end to the fear-mongering over certain chemicals and toxic and harmful things. I'm not saying, you know, that it isn't, I mean, formaldehyde, everybody agrees that formaldehyde is harmful. Everybody agrees that lead, arsenic and mercury are harmful. Yes, definitely. But there's a, I mean, don't call everything a chemical, because you're walking about housed within the largest chemical factory on earth, your body. Our bodies are the world's largest chemical factories. And water is a chemical. Blood is a chemical. Air is a bloody chemical. Everything is a chemical. You can't just call the... I've lost count of the number of times I've been stopped by somebody at a counter, told, you know, our products don't contain harmful chemicals. You're applying all these harmful chemicals on your face. Here's the thing. Stop eating chemicals. Stop drinking chemicals. Stop breathing in chemicals. Stop walking about with housing a chemical factory. Just die. I know it's harsh, but fear-mongering is equally bad. Recently, a blog that, or a website that I won't really mention, a community, a website, did a 3-month study on toxic chemicals in makeup. The fear-mongering there was immense, and I'll tell you why. All the safe products contained a number of MLMs, unique, Arbonne, Beauty Countess, so many of those were there. You're trying to shill MLMs by calling everything else multi-level marketing for those on trade, by calling mainstream brands full of toxic chemicals. Right, I know about you. For the record, this channel does not support multi-level marketing or MLMs or pyramid schemes, never has and never will, right? Just to make that one clear. So I'd like to see an end to the fear-mongering over chemicals. Incidentally, I would also like to see an end to the CBD trend. CBD, cannabis sativa, marijuana, has certain medically proven characteristics, qualities. However, there are other skincare products, skincare ingredients with equal antioxidant properties as CBD. It doesn't. They're marketing it as, snake oil was once. This one will cure everything from your acne to your dry skin and flaky skin, to your rosacea, to your psoriasis, to your melanoma. That's how it's being marketed, and that's not how it works. So I'd like to see an end to this trend, or at least a reduction. I mean, just call it, just like any other ingredient or any other serum. Just treat it that way and we'll be fine. Number 17, I'd like to see an end to the leaks in social media, because as a result of a palette being leaked or information about something new being leaked, before the brand is ready to release the product in question, what happens is that the brand decides to hurry up to forward their schedule a bit, and then they come out with something that isn't very good quality. So leaks are actually a bad idea. I mean, how would a newspaper organization like it if they've got hold of something exclusive, an exclusive interview with a celebrity, and somebody else has leaked the entire transcript? That's not how it works. The next one, and this is very, very, very important. I would like to see an end to the trend of poorly informed influencers making profound statements, profound claims, or grandiose statements on social media. This is why I don't do a lot of skincare reviews and skincare videos on this channel. I'm not qualified. What I can tell you is that I have oily skin, I have acne-prone skin, I have textured, pitted acne scars. And this product worked for me, or it did not work for me. That much I can tell you. And it contains, say, glycolic acid off the top of my head, which is a proven chemical exfoliant. That much I can tell you. Apart from that, I cannot tell you that whether fragrance is a good thing or a bad thing, because it suits some people, it doesn't suit some other people. I cannot tell you whether certain ingredients are good for you or bad for you. They may or may not suit you. Mineral oil, personally, breaks me out. You may love it. So I'm not an expert. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not qualified here. I'm not, board certified, nor am I an esthetician. So without all of this, I am just somebody who creates videos for a lark on YouTube. And I cannot make all these grandiose claims, Unfortunately, not everybody feels this way. And a lot of people with just a YouTube channel make all these statements against certain brands for certain other brands. And I'm watching these videos and thinking, wait, that brand didn't work for me at all. It broke me out badly. How can he say that this is perfect? And then there's another brand that's being crushed. Hey, that worked for me. I thought it was lovely. Cured my acne. Not cured it, help manage it. You can never cure acne or diabetes or blood pressure. You can only manage the bloody things. So that's a trend that I'm very annoyed about, and I would like to see gone. Lastly, and this is very tongue-in-cheek, mind you, I would like to see an end to hair and fiber in makeup. Right, you may think that I'm having a dig at certain people. No, I'm not. What I mean to say is we need better quality control, irrespective of your brand, irrespective of whether you've been around forever or whether you're very new. I think we all need to see more quality control from brands. Brands need to be more careful no matter what. It can only improve matters. That's what I meant. But I liked starting with hair and fiber because, there's some shock value in there. And this blog doesn't really indulge in clickbait, but hey, once in a while we've got to indulge. So those are 20 things that I would like to see gone, not only in 2020, but also the decade ahead. Do you have a particular beauty trend or beauty thing that you would like to see gone? If so, it could be a product, an ingredient, a trend, a style, an influencer thing, whatever. Just tell me in the comments below. Let's talk. So that's all from me for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please do give me a thumbs up. Please do the subscribe button. Please do ring the notifications bell, and I'll speak to you soon.